So going back to what you were saying about the superpowers, is a lot of times people aren't finding their superpowers because they get jealous that other people have superpowers and they're embracing it and they attack them.
And then we're all in our ego competitive nature of like, how can I beat them?
For sure.
Or I can't beat them, right? Victim mentality.
Because it takes so much more energy. Yeah. It takes a lot more energy. I'm going to we'll say the same or more to be in that negative side opposed to being the the problem as opposed to the solution. Mm-hmm. So we're saying challenging you to be more in the solution, challenging ourselves to be more in the solutions, because I'm not always in there. But sometimes you gotta acknowledge the problem to a certain extent, so it's not all bad to observe the problem, but let's move to the solution from there. Let's acknowledge that. Somebody that's like totally acts like they're positive all the time and they're not embracing the problem, that's a problem. That's a big problem too.
Being sovereign isn't blaming someone else for the things that we're experiencing.
For sure.
And that's part of what needs to be healed. You know, that's the trauma, the residual of the colonial reality that I like to call it. You know, these belief systems or structures of reality that make us really believe that we don't have any power, we don't have any say, are to the point where we don't even believe that we have the power to be well. Like that minute, which is here, it's inside our body, and they have us believing that we don't have that power. And so, like, going back to what we were talking about in the beginning with the CEO who was, you know, his life was taken by an individual who felt like they were doing it for perhaps, you know, the good of the people. Maybe they thought they were doing it for the good of others. They were doing it for themselves. Let's be real. To appease whatever belief systems or thoughts that they had. And when we say, well, it's the FDA's fault that I'm obese, it's the healthcare system's fault for not giving me that surgery, it's X, Y, and Z, and we're constantly like, it's my employer's job that they don't give me a raise, that's why I'm in, you know, this financial situation, or whatever it is. Like, when we are constantly looking outside of us for solutions, we're completely not standing in our power, and we 100% cannot actually access the benefits of what standing in our sovereignty can bring. Because it will bring, firstly, our ability to come back to ourselves and realize how amazing we are, how freaking amazing we are. But then the natural, beautiful side effect is we actually can create wider change in the world, you know? And so some of these systems that maybe anger needs to happen right now so people can get fed up with giving their power away and being unwell and being, you know, without basic necessities, so on and so forth. Maybe we need to get to that. And that's understandable.
You were mentioning love earlier, and for me, I believe compassion's the most productive energy in the world. And how I came up with this is, how is compassion created? You take the anger, you take the deep level of sadness that's going on in the world, and you combine it with pure love, and that creates compassion. And then we get out of the way that we're doing it. So I believe the two, because sometimes pure love alone without that is like a Teletubby. Mm-hmm. We need to have the Jerry Springer with the Teletubby. I used to watch Jerry Springer, and I've always been a little weird with my things, but I really legit did this. I would watch Jerry Springer, and then I'd watch the Teletubbies at it to balance it. And that was the beginning of the formula for compassion. And somebody told me that some way there's
that is funny.
Jerry Springer wasn't really high vibrating, but he wasn't low vibrating, because he was making us aware of a lot of things in society that people didn't want to look at. If you look at the Roaring 20s, you see people are real excited. They weren't happy. They were forcing happiness. And I know a lot of that was just entertainment, which a lot of times it's forced on that, but it seemed like the people in society kind of had that energy too. because they're influenced by the celebrities. So I'm going to give you the final thought.
Yeah. I will bridge off of what you shared and linking how powerful compassion can be in cultivating a more sovereign path in one's life. I like to say that compassion is communing with passion, right? Putting those two words together. So it's like passion is all the things that you just mentioned, and if we can, with drive and devotion and dedication, bring all of those powerful emotions that we have that can be very passionate. Passionate people create action. They're very action oriented. And so in order to be sovereign, we have to be willing to take action. We can't be a passive agent in that. So, let's refrain from action that is associated with this idea of righteousness, or like we're all the judge and executioner, and instead bring that action to how can I cultivate things for myself that allow me to, tap into my intelligence and my innovation, tap into the immense wealth of knowledge that I bring from all the generations before me, all the skill sets that I've acquired during my lifetime, all of the social wealth and other systems of wealth that I have access to. That's how through action, we can stand our sovereignty. People who come to me and ask about sovereignty, when they start asking about what that thing or that thing or that thing can help them be sovereign, I have to kind of like bring them back, like we got to start at 101. Like being in your sovereignty doesn't have anything to do with the outside systems. Like it has to be within. So yeah, I'll leave us on that thought.
Sovereignty comes from within.
Yep.
Everything comes from within.
Yep.
And without within, you can't be without. What?
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 Oh my God, he's full of shit. I'm good. Krisna was here to